honestly, I mean, credit to Madrid. Credit to Madrid. You never count them out. Never ever count them out. Benzema, being the professional he is, won the tie for Madrid when he won the penalty and scored the penalty smoothly. Wasn't better than his Panenka in the first leg, but he still put it away. But the fact is, Madrid with veterans like Benzema and Modric and Carvajal and Tony. Well, Tony Cruz didn't really play well, but and then with a talent like Vinicius Junior as well. By the way, he didn't have his best game today. Or his best game last night. But wow, you can't. You just can't make it up. You can't make it up, and honestly, like, City had outplayed them, outplayed Real Madrid in both games. The 4-3 last week and 3-1 this week. They outplayed them both times, but they didn't. But they did not through to the final. You can never ever ever give a team like Real Madrid a lifeline because they'll come back and punish you. We saw against PSG, we saw against Chelsea, and now we've seen it against Man City. We've seen it against City. Never give them a lifeline because they got world-class players. Period. You don't ever do that. Never do that. Liverpool, obviously, on Tuesday they played Villarreal. They had a scare. Villarreal came out early, scored 2 goals, and the tie was in a balance. They had a serious scare, but second half they came out. Luis Diaz, for me, who's January signed the season, came on, made a unique difference, replacing Jota. Fabinho scored. Then it was Diaz. Then it was Mane. Game over. Tie over. Liverpool are through to the final. City, I just don't know what happened. I just can't explain it because you have the game in cruise control. You're dominating possession, and you had chances as well. City had chances. Bernardo had a shot saved. Foden, shot saved. Who else? Grealish. He actually, to be quite honest, the game was less exciting than last week's game for obvious reasons. But there wasn't much attacking threat going. Like City were controlling the game, but they weren't like as lethal as they were in the first leg. And I felt when Jack Grealish came on, he gave a new lease of life on that wing, and he almost scored twice. Almost scored, and he shouldn't be made the scapegoat here. Quite frankly, for City once again failing to win the Champions League, failing to win the Champions League this season. He shouldn't be made a scapegoat at all. And so, Pep. Honestly, I mean, you could argue that some of the subs was very questionable. I can understand Zinchenko, Gundogan. That was a good choice to come on. But then Fernandinho coming on. Like, I don't understand. Like, honestly, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, you've been spoken. City have been spoken about as one of the talented teams, the best world-class teams in Europe. And they just capitulated within minutes, within seconds. Pep Guardiola, yeah, honestly, I think he's still an elite manager. I will never ever disrespect Pep. But the fact is, there's always going to be that question of can he win the Champions League without Lionel Messi? Because Messi has won a Champions League trophy without him in 2015. Pep hasn't done it without Messi. And it's a fact. It's a fact that's often pushed by people who think Pep Guardiola is overrated. But and as much as you could rightfully kind of attack their arguments about the greatness of Pep, that's one fact that you can't defend against. It's one fact that's kind of that you can't. If you're a Pep fan, if you're a fan of Guardiola, you can't really defend him with some of the Champions League defeats that he's had over the years, especially at City and also at Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich. But let's just focus on his time. But to narrow it down, just focus on his time at Man City from 2016. He lost to Monaco. I think that was the quarterfinals or knockout rounds. I can't remember where. Can't remember when it was, but he lost to Monaco. Got knocked up by Monaco. Got knocked up by Liverpool. When Liverpool were kind of rebuilding, they made improvements, but they weren't Liverpool as they are now. So he got knocked. So Liverpool 2018 to Spurs. Tottenham Hotspurs 2019 lost to Spurs. That was surprising to me. That was unthinkable. He went on to the final. He went to the final, by the way. But yeah, lost to Spurs. 2020 lost to Lyon. And yeah, that was a one-legged tie, but you still couldn't. You can't be losing to Lyon. And then last year, you got to the final and lost to Chelsea because Pep just overcomplicated his tactics for that final. That on that night, Thomas Tuchel outdone him, and City lost 1-0 in the final to Chelsea. And I thought that was their moment, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. And now you capitulated against Real Madrid. And this Real Madrid side is far from the best team. It's far away from the team that won Champions League three times in a row. In 2017, 2016, 2017, 2018. This Madrid side is a weaker team than that team back then. During that free beat. Honestly, it's just there were some subs that Pep made which was understandable. Gundogan made the difference. Jack Grealish, I thought he had a good game. He was unlucky to miss those two chances. So he may get the blame. He may be the scapegoat. Man, honestly. But bringing Fernandinho on, leading the game, I think that sets the wrong precedent, because you don't want to start. The last thing you want to do against a team like Real Madrid, who we've seen come back 3 times now, twice before. The last thing you want to do is defend deep, or bringing on the defensive players when you're leading the game, because really, what he should have done is put players on that's going to keep the ball high up the pitch for City. He should have brought those players on, but he didn't. Well, he did, but bringing on Fernandinho was a huge mistake. But the question is still going to linger on, and as of right now, it's going to take his legacy. That's going to be the one thing that takes his legacy within Europe. So, yeah, the final Champions League, it's going to be Liverpool versus Madrid. That's what I have to say. That's all I have to say. Take care. God bless. This is what's left to say.